Okay, we in First Samuel's, the 12th chapter, and the 17th verse. It says, "Is it not wheat harvest today? So I will call unto the Most High, and he shall send thunder and rain, that ye may perceive and see that your wickedness is great, which ye have done in the sight of the Most High in asking you a king." And us asking for a king is wicked. When the Most High said, hey, I'm your king. Verse 18, so Samuel called up to the Most High, and the Most High sent thunder and rain that day, and all the people greatly feared the Most High and Samuel. See, can you imagine how the thunder was to make the people afraid? Oh yeah, probably was powerful. Boom. And all the people said unto Samuel, pray for thy servants unto the Most High thy power, that we die not. That's how, all they hearing is thunder and that rain coming down. He said, pray to the Most High. Can you imagine? I was going to say how loud it was. They felt they were going to die. Pray for thy servants unto the Most High thy power. Thy power, not our power, but your power. Hear that? That we die not. For we have added unto all, for we have added unto all our sins this evil, to ask us a king. Samuel said unto the people, fear not, ye have done all this wickedness, yet turn not aside from following the Most High, but serve the Most High with all your heart, over and over again. We sin against the Most High, we got to come back and serve him with all our mind. And turn ye not aside, for then should ye go after vain things, which cannot profit nor deliver, for they are vain, worthless. For the Most High will not forsake his people, for his great name's sake, because it hath pleased the Most High to make you his people. You hear that? The Most High not going to forsake us. It pleased the Most High to make us his people, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes of Israel. Moreover, as for me, the Most High forbid that I should sin against the Most High in ceasing to pray for you, but I will teach you the good and the right way. So I'm going to teach you the good and the right way. Only fear the Most High. He said, only fear the Most High and serve him in truth with all your heart, for consider how great things he have done for you. I mean, you can think of all the things that he's done for us from the beginning to now, and people right now don't want to believe in him. He says, hey, but if ye shall still do wickedly, you still want to be wicked, you shall be consumed. So you're going to be consumed, both ye and your king that you desire. So he let us know, if you're going to be wicked, you're going to do what's wrong, you're going to be consumed. And check it out. I mean, when you see that consumption is something else, because people don't fear the Most High. Therefore, you don't understand who he is. And we're going to show you through the Spirit of the Most High who he is, what he represents. It's no joke. Hebrews 12 and 29. Hebrews 12:29. For our power, who is the Most High, is a consuming fire. He said you're going to be consumed. The Most High is a consuming fire. Don't get it twisted. Exodus 24:17. He said you're going to be consumed. You're going to be consumed by the Most High, who is a consuming fire. Exodus 24 and 17. In the sight of the glory of the Most High was like devouring fire on the top of the mount in the eyes of the children of Israel. See? So you're looking at that glory, represent the Most High and the Mashiach Yahushua. He the glory of the Most High. And he said, I and my Father are one. Deuteronomy 4:24. You know, we were scared. It made us say, we want to talk to you, Moses. We want to talk to the Most High. Deuteronomy 4:24. For the Most High, thy power is a consuming fire, even a jealous power. See? The Most High is a consuming fire, even a jealous power. And the Mashiach Yahushua, like I say, he's a consuming fire too, like it says in John 10:30. I and my Father are one. Let me just prove it right quick. This is Mashiach Yahushua in 2nd Ezra 13. And we're going to look at verse, we start at 1. And it came to pass, after 7 days, I dreamed a dream by night. And lo, there arose a wind from the sea, that it moved all the waves thereof, and I beheld, and lo, that man waxed strong with the thousands of heaven. This is the Mashiach Yahushua coming to judge and make war. Thousands of heaven tell you in Revelation 9:16, gonna be 200 million. And when he turned his countenance to look, all the things trembled that were seen under him, right? Everybody gonna tremble that's seen under him when he ascend from the fourth dimension to come and judge and make war. Listen. And whatsoever the voice went out of his mouth, all they burned that heard his voice, like as the earth faileth when it filleth the fire. So he's consuming fire too, like I said, like Father, like Son. Now jump down to verse 9. And lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude, the army, the navy, the marines, the air force, in all the military might of all the nations, and lo, as he saw the violence of the multitude that came, he neither lifted up his hand, nor held sword, nor any instrument of war, but only I saw that he sent out of his mouth, as it had been a blast of fire. There it is. Out of his mouth gonna come a blast of fire, and out of his lips a flaming breath. This is all fire here. And out of his tongue he cast out sparks and tempests. And they were all mixed together, the blast of fire, the flaming breath, and the great tempest. All that's fire. And fell with violence upon the multitude which was prepared to fight. And what? And burned them up. You don't burn nothing up without fire. He burned them up. Every one, so that upon a sudden of an innumerable multitude, nothing was to be perceived, but only dust and smell of smoke. When I saw it, I was afraid. So don't get it twisted. That's the Mashiach Yahushua coming to judge and make war. And he's a consuming fire too. Straight up. So when it was consumed, that's the Most High. And the Mashiach Yahushua. Say, right together, doing the will of the Most High. Go to 2 Kings. th chapter. 2 Kings, the 17th chapter. said, look at verse 6. Concentrate on verse 7. It says, in the 9th year of Hosea the king of Assyria, in the 9th year of Hosea the king of Assyria took Samaria, that's northern Israel, 9.5 tribes, and carried Israel away into Assyria, and placed them in Halah and in Hobah by the river of Gozan, and in the cities of the Medes. So this was the Most High did to the northern tribes, because they made 2 calves. Jeroboam made 2 calves. And this who brought us out of the land of Egypt, out of our captivity. Remember, the Most High is consuming fire, and his name is jealous. So he set them in those different lands in Assyria. Verse 7. For so it was that the children of Israel had sinned against the Most High their power, which had brought them up out of the land of Egypt from under the hand of Pharaoh, king of Egypt, and had feared other gods. See? Went under other gods. And walked in the statutes of the heathen, whom the Most High cast out from before the children of Israel, and of the kings of Israel, which they had made. See? The children of Israel did secretly those things that were not right against the Most High their power. And they built them high places in all their cities, from the tower of the watchman to the fenced city. And they set them up images and groves in every hill, every high hill, and under every green tree. Dealing with idolatry, following the way of the heathen, doing what's wrong. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen, whom the Most High carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Most High to anger. For they served idols, whereof the Most High has said unto them, ye shall not do this thing. See? Go back to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. Hold that. Go back to Deuteronomy, the 7th chapter. This is what we did. He told us this. Seven nations. He's talking about nations. Deuteronomy 7, and we're going to read verse 2. And when the Most High thy power shall deliver them before thee, thou shalt smite them. He tells us what to do. We should kill them and utterly destroy them. Thou shalt make no covenant with them, don't make no contracts, no agreements with them, nor show mercy unto them, neither shalt thou make marriages with them. Thy daughter thou shalt not give unto his son, nor his daughter shalt thou take unto thy son. For they will turn away thy son from following me. This is why he tells us we must supposed to be dealing with interracial marriage. He said, for they will turn away thy son from following me, by dealing with idolatry, because all the gods of the nations are idols. Psalm 96 and 5. That they may serve other gods, them idols. This is what happened. So will the anger of the Most High be kindled against you, and destroy thee suddenly. That's what he said. But thus shall ye deal with them. This is how you're supposed to deal with them. Ye shall destroy their altars, and break down their images, and cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire. But thou art an holy people unto the Most High thy power. The Most High thy power hath chosen thee to be a special people unto himself, above all people that are upon the face of the earth. You see? So he told us to get rid of all the things that they had, cut down their groves, and burn their graven images with fire, and destroy their altars. He told us to do that. Nah, we don't want to do that. We want to lock into whatever they're doing and follow what they're doing. And what it says, it's going to do what it says. You do that, it's going to take your mind away from following him. And to this day, we have followed the way of the heathen. He told us in Jeremiah 10 and 2, learn not the way of the heathen. What do? Follow just what he said not to do. And to this day. Wonder why we're in the condition we in, because that's what we did. You say you're going to take your mind away from following him. How you gonna serve him and you gotta represent another nation that the Most High said he ain't even dealing with? Going back to 2 Kings 17, verse 11. Well, let's look at verse 10. And they set them up images and groves, verse 10, in every high hill and under every green tree. And there they burnt incense in all the high places, as did the heathen, whom the Most High carried away before them, and wrought wicked things to provoke the Most High to anger. So when you look at, you following the way of these heathens, these other nations, you make the Most High angry. Regardless, the Most High long suffering, but he let you know he gonna get you eventually. You're gonna be gotten eventually. For they serve idols, whereof the Most High has said unto them, ye shall not do this thing. They serve idols. The Most High tells us, ye shall not do this thing. Yet the Most High testified against Israel and against Judah, all 12 tribes, by all the prophets and by all the seers, saying, turn ye from your evil ways, and keep my commandments and my statutes, according to all the law which I commanded your fathers, and which I sent to you by my servants the prophets. Notwithstanding, they would not hear. Over and over again. Notwithstanding, they didn't want to hear. We didn't want to hear. But hardened their necks, like the neck of their fathers, that did not believe in the Most High their power. And they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and their testimonies which he testified against them, and they followed vanity and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them. Isn't that the same thing that's happening right now? Are people going against the Most High's law, such commandments? You taught you're not under the law in these different religions, or you believe certain parts and you don't believe the other parts, you don't follow the other parts, follow this part, don't follow that part. So you are being led astray and you leading others astray. This is what it says. And went after the heathen that were round about them, as it is today, concerning whom the Most High had charged them, that they should not do like them. So you got to look at it. I'm not going to be like them. I can't do what they do. They're doing what they're doing. I cannot do what the heathen do. That's why Mashiach Shai said, be wise as serpents, harmless as a dove. You got to know how they operate. So you don't be that way. You don't follow that way, so you please the Most High. Listen. It says, verse 15, and they rejected his statutes and his covenant that he made with their fathers, and his testimonies which he testified against them, and they followed vanity, and became vain, and went after the heathen that were round about them, concerning whom the Most High had charged them, that they should not do like them. Don't be like them. So if it offend you, you got to take it up with the Most High. And he told her not to be like them. Not to be like them. And they left all the commandments of the Most High their power, and made them molten images, even 2 calves, and made a grove, and worshiped all the hosts of heaven, stars, the moon, the comets, the sun, and everything, and served Baal, served Nimrod, served Satan, the devil. And they caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire, and used divination and enchantments, and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Most High, to provoke him to anger, sacrificing our sons and daughters to pass through the fire, just like they do in Bohemian Grove, Northern California. Wonder where all these people are just missing. Same thing. Same ritual. They caused their sons and their daughters to pass through the fire and use divination and enchantments and sold themselves to do evil in the sight of the Most High to provoke him to anger. Verse 18. Therefore the Most High was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. Get out of my sight. He was very angry with Israel and removed them out of his sight. Got rid of the northern tribes. There was none left but the tribe of Judah only. Verse 19, also Judah kept not the commandments of the Most High, their power. After seeing what the Most High did to the northern tribes, also Judah kept not the commandments of the Most High, their power, but walked in the statutes of Israel, which they made. And the Most High rejected all the seed of Israel, and afflicted them, and delivered them into the hand of spoilers, until he had cast them out of his sight. And he rent Israel from the house of David. And they made Jeroboam the son of Nebat king. And Jeroboam drave Israel from following the Most High and made them sin a great sin. For the children of Israel walked in all the sins of Jeroboam, which he did. They departed not from them. They continued to sin, until the Most High removed Israel out of his sight. That's the northern tribes. As he had said by all his servants, the prophets. So was Israel carried away out of their land to Assyria until this day. See? He told us he's going to do this, but now we're going to do it our way. Like it is today. You tell people, you got to come back to the Most High. I mean, you can't hear the fact of he saying, hey, you got to follow me. You got to keep my commandments. Yeah, I don't know what you're hearing. And see what he did. Look at 2 Chronicles, 6th chapter. This is very key here for us. Look at 2 Chronicles, the 6th chapter. I hope you're there. I'm giving you an opportunity to get there. It says, 2 Chronicles, the 6th chapter, and verse 37. It says, yet if they bethink themselves in the land whither they are carried captive, we carry captives here, in different lands where we're captive, Israelites, and turn and pray unto thee in the land of their captivity, saying, we have sinned. You hear what he's saying? Not I have sinned, but we have sinned. That's why I'm bringing this forward, because this is very important for us to recognize and understand. Yet if they bethink themselves in the land whither they are carried captive, and turn and pray unto thee in the land of their captivity, saying, we have sinned, we have done amiss, and have dealt wickedly. We are knocking out. Have sinned. We have done amiss and have dealt wickedly. If they turn to thee with all their heart and with all their soul in the land of their captivity, whither they have carried them captives, and pray toward their land, pray toward the east, which thou gavest unto their fathers, and toward the city which thou hast chosen, Jerusalem, and toward the house which I have built for thy name, then hear thou from the heavens, even from the dwelling place, their prayer and their supplications, our prayer and our cry. our prayer and our cry. And maintain their cause, and forgive thy people which have sinned against thee. Forgive us. Now, my power, let, I beseech thee, thine eyes be open, and let thine ears be attentive unto the prayer that is made in this place. Now therefore arise, O Most High, into thy resting place, thou in the ark of thy strength. Let thy priest, O Most High power, be clothed with salvation, and let thy saints rejoice in goodness. But hear what he asked him. Arise, that's Krum. Abanawa Yahweh. Arise, O Most High, into thy resting place, thou in the ark of thy strength. Let thy priest, O Most High power, be clothed with salvation, and let thy saints, the children of Israel, the 12 tribes, just rejoice in goodness. O Most High, turn not away the face of thine anointed. Remember the mercies of David, thy servant. He's praying to the Most High. Now, when you understand, Solomon was all right here. But when he got older, he allowed the same thing that the Most High told us not to do to happen to him. When he married these strange women. And see, a lot of people don't understand the king, he can marry his women, the children of Israel, but when you go outside of the children of Israel, that's why it talks about those women, and not the children of Israel, not the women of the daughters of Zion, but the women that he married of these other nations that turned him away from following the Most High in his older age. The examples that we have here, people. Look at the book of Nehemiah, first chapter. See, we have sinned. Hear that. Hear the word of the Most High. We have sinned. We have sinned. Nehemiah, the first chapter. Let's look at verse 4. Nehemiah 1 and 4. And it came to pass, when I heard these words, that I sat down and wept and mourned certain days, and fasted and prayed before the Most High of heaven. But here, verse 3. And they said unto me, the remnant that are left of the captivity there in the province are in great affliction, and reproached, disgraced. The wall of Jerusalem also is broken down, and the gates thereof are burned with fire. And it came to pass, when I heard these words, that I sat down and wept and mourned certain days, and fasted and prayed before the Most High of heaven, and said, I beseech thee, O Most High power of heaven, the great and terrible power. Hear that? The great and terrible power that keepeth covenant and mercy for them that love him and observe his commandments. Let thine ear now be attentive, and thine eyes open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy servant, which I pray before thee now, day and night, for the children of Israel, thy servants. He praying day and night for we, the children of Israel, the Most High servants, and confess the sins of the children of Israel. He confessing the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned. There it is, against thee. Nehemiah, including himself. Just what worked. Just was marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. He said, let thine ear now be attentive, and thine eyes open, that thou mayest hear the prayer of thy servant, which I pray before thee now, day and night, for the children of Israel, thy servants, and confess the sins of the children of Israel, which we have sinned against thee. Both I and my father's house have sinned. You hear that? Both I and my father's house have sinned, including himself. We have dealt very corruptly against thee, and have not kept the commandments, nor the statutes, nor the judgments, which thou commandest thy servant Moses. See, this is why it's very important to go into. That's why he told us. Go to Job 8 and 8. That's why he told us to go and seek out our ancestors. See what worked for them. It says, for inquire, I pray thee, of the former age, and prepare thyself to the search of their fathers. This is what we're supposed to be doing. And that's what I'm doing. Those that have ears to hear, let them hear. We're going to go through these scriptures and look at what we did pertaining to searching out our ancestors, the Israelites. Find out what works. Deuteronomy 4 and 32. He said, for ask now of the days that are past, which were before thee, since the day that the Most High created man upon the earth, and ask from the one side of heaven unto the other, whether there hath been any such thing as this great thing is, or hath been heard like it. Did ever a people hear the voice of the Most High, speaking out of the midst of the fire, as thou hast heard and lived? Or hath the Most High shade to go and take him a nation from the midst of another nation, by temptations, by signs, and by wonders, and by war, and by a mighty hand, and by a stretched out arm, and by great terrors, according to all that the Most High your power did for you in Egypt before your eyes? Unto thee it was shown, that thou mightest know that the Most High, he is the power, and the only power. There is none else beside him. See, out of heaven he made thee to hear his voice, that he might instruct thee. And upon earth he showed thee his great fire, and thou heard of his words out of the midst of the fire. And because he loved thy fathers, therefore he chose their seed after them, and brought thee out in his sight with his mighty power out of Egypt. This is our power. My power. I don't know about your power. That's my power. Most High, all praise and glory to his holy name. By some of myself ever shot for sure. This is what it's all about, people. Hallelujah, his glorious and holy name. Look at Psalms. What is the book of Psalms? It's some of David's Psalms. Go to Psalms. In Psalms 41 and 4, just to give a balance concerning King David. Psalms 41 and 4. He said, I said, O Most High, be merciful unto me, heal my soul, for I have sinned against thee. See, that's for we as individuals. We still can say we have sinned against the Most High, if you know you have. And it's better to say you have sinned against the Most High than think yourself to be perfect. When you could have thought the wrong things and it was sin. Looked at the wrong thing, it could be sin. So it's very, very important that you look at this and you follow what it is that our ancestors did. That's why he said, I said, O Most High, be merciful unto me, heal my soul, for I have sinned against thee. See, my enemies speak evil of me. When shall he die, and his name perish? But you let him know that he sinned against the Most High. Psalms 106. Psalm 106. Now here he is speaking again. Psalms 106 and 6. Like I say, give you a balance here. We have sinned with our fathers. You know? He said, we have sinned with our fathers. We have committed iniquity, wickedness. We have done wickedly. Our fathers understood not thy wonders in Egypt. They remembered not the multitude of thy mercies, but provoked him at the sea, even at the Red Sea. Nevertheless, he saved them for his name's sake, that he might make his mighty power to be known. That's the Most High. He saved them for his name's sake, that he may make his mighty power be known, to be known. He rebuked the Red Sea also, and it was dried up. So he led them through the depths as through the wilderness, and he saved them from the hand of him that hated them, and redeemed them from the hand of the enemy. Remember Pharaoh and his chariots, all his army was chasing after us. But the Most High saved us. And the waters covered their enemies. The waters of the Red Sea covered over Pharaoh and all his army and his chariots. There was not one of them left. Then believed they his words. They sang his praise. They soon forgot his works. They walked not for his counsel. They waited not for his counsel, but lusted exceedingly in the wilderness and tempted the Most High in the desert. He blessed us and blessed us and blessed us. And we always forgot about him. Always. Verse 35. But were mingled among the heathen and learned their works. And they served their idols. See, we're mingled among the heathen, learned their works, their religions, their philosophies, their ways, and served their idols, which was a snare unto them, a snare unto us, then, now, and forever. Yeah, they sacrificed their sons and their daughters unto devils. Hear that? Remember, they took the sons and the daughters and put them in the fire, and shed innocent blood, even the blood of their sons and of their daughters, whom they sacrificed unto the idols of Canaan. And the land was polluted with blood. Thus were they defiled their own works, and went a-whoring with their own adventures. Therefore was the wrath of the Most High kindled against his people, the 12 tribes of Israel, insomuch that he abhorred his own inheritance. He hated us for this. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen. And they that hated them ruled over them. Their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Over and over again. Now we read about it when we started this lesson in Judges 10 and 10. How we cried to the Most High, he put us in these different nations' hands in captivity, cried to the Most High. Came back to his laws, statutes, and commandments, he redeemed us. Verse 43, many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and were brought low for their iniquity, sinning against the Most High. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry again. He regarded our affliction when he heard our cry. And he remembered for them his covenant, and repented according to the multitude of his mercies. His covenant that he made with who? Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel. Point blank, no one else, he tell you in Psalms 105 and 8, he had remembered his covenant. As he just said, how long? Forever. The word which he commanded to 1,000 generations. To 1,000 generations. Which covenant he made with Abraham, and his oath unto Isaac, and confirmed the same unto Jacob for a law, and to Israel, 12 tribes of Israel, for an everlasting covenant. Now you can't make anyone else be with this covenant. It's clear right there. The everlasting covenant is with Israel, the Israelites. So we did, the things that made the Most High hate us. Abhor means to hate. And he gave us to the hand of the heathen, and they that hated us, the 12 tribes of Israel, ruled over us until this day. You think these people don't hate us? He's saying it right here. Verse 41 of Psalms 106. And he gave them into the hand of the heathen, and they that hated them ruled over them. What part of that you understand? It say their enemies also oppressed them, and they were brought into subjection under their hand. Many times did he deliver them, but they provoked him with their counsel, and were brought low for their iniquity. Were brought down. Most I hear what we're saying, coming together with wickedness, and he brought us down for our iniquity or wickedness. Nevertheless, he regarded their affliction when he heard their cry. He regarded our affliction when he heard our cry. That's the only time he's going to release us from this captivity, when he hear our cry. Because we're being afflicted. Say, and he remembered for them his covenant, what we just read, from Abraham to Isaac to Jacob to the 12 tribes of Israel, and repented according to the multitude of his mercies. He made them also to be pitied of all those that carried them captives. Save us, O Most High, our power, and gather us from among the heathen, to give thanks unto thy holy name, and to triumph in thy praise. Blessed be the Most High power of Israel. Not of any, he could say it of everyone. You think the Most High couldn't have King David say, hey, blessed be the Most High power of every nation? No, he said the Most High power of Israel, from everlasting to everlasting. And let all the people say, praise ye the Most High. Hallelujah. Yes. So we have a power. And he's understanding. He see everything. His eyes 10,000 times brighter than the sun, beholding all the ways of men. Go to Jeremiah 3. Let's read verse 20. The Most High talk to us. It says, surely as a wife treacherously departed from her husband, that the Most High hate separation. But it says, surely as a wife treacherously departed from her husband, so have ye dealt treacherously with me, O house of Israel, said the Most High. So he compared us to a wife that treacherously depart from her husband. Because remember, I tell you, a wife is subject to her husband as long as he lives. That's how you're comparing us. See, a voice was heard upon the high places, weeping and supplications of the children of Israel, but they have perverted their way, and they have forgotten the power, the Most High power, their power. Return, ye backsliding children, and I will heal your backslidings. Behold, we come unto thee, for thou art the Most High our power. Surely in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills, and from the multitude of mountains. Truly in the Most High our power is salvation, is the salvation of the Most High of Israel. So it's telling you, salvation is hoped for. So it's vain to think salvation from any other way. Any other way. Except for through the Most High. Truly in vain is salvation hoped for from the hills and from the multitude of mountains. Truly is in the Most High our power is the salvation of Israel. Truly in our power is the salvation of Israel. For shame have devoured the labor of our fathers from our youth, their flocks and their herds, their sons and their daughters. Listen, verse 25. Pay attention. We lie down in our shame, and our confusion covereth us. Think about how shameful and how confused we are as a people now. They can't even understand the fact of coming back to the Most High. So when you backsliding how? It's not backsliding from going against the Most High's law, statutes, commandments. It's something else. See, we lie down in our shame, and our confusion covereth us. For we have sinned against the Most High our power. You hear that? For we have sinned against the Most High our power. We and our fathers, from our youth even unto this day, and have not obeyed the voice of the Most High our power. That's the problem. That's why the blessings are not coming like they should to the children of Israel, because we're going to follow our own way. We would say, many are deceived by their own vain opinion, worthless thinking, and an evil suspicion is overthrown the judgment. Evil comes in and overthrow the judgment. Your judgment that you make is evil, because it's not thus said the Most High, from the word of the Most High. You want to use the Mashiach Yahushua against what we're reading mainly here in this, so far in this lesson, in the Old Testament, but you really can't. So you say, I and my Father are one. They agree. They agree. He said, what he see the Father do, that's what he does. What he hear the Father say, that's what he says. Because he's the word of the Most High. He said, hearken unto my voice. That voice has a word that comes to us. And that word is through a Mashiach Yahushua. We just read about an angel, Spirit of the Most High, in where? The Old Testament, in Exodus, in the beginning of the Bible. Genesis 1 and 1. Genesis 1 and 2. Genesis 1 and 26. That's him. So, you're not going to run to him To run away from the Most High, what we see here. You can go on and on and on. You're going to see. We sinned against the Most High. So we cried to the Most High and told him that we have sinned against him. Personally, and we, as a nation. That's what we have to do. Crying to the Most High, he have pity on us. Sincerely. Without that, just prepare yourself to be here, or wherever you are, till you see what it is that works. As for me, I'm going to do just what our ancestors did. What pleased the Most High, what's marvelous in the eyes of the Most High. And if you continue, you'll see. I got to bring this before I close so you'll see. Go to Daniel's 9th chapter. Make it clear as ever. Daniel's the 9th chapter. Look at start at verse 3. Just careful. These are solutions that works with the Most High. Daniel's 9:3. And I set my face unto the Most High power to seek my prayer and supplication, that's crying, with fasting and sackcloth and ashes. And I prayed unto the Most High my power, and made my confession and said, O Most High, the great and dreadful power, keeping the covenant, which is with Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob, to the 12 tribes of Israel, and mercy to them that love him, and to them that keep his commandments. It's very important. You love him, you're going to keep his commandments. We have sinned. Now, can you make it say something different? You say, we have sinned. This is a prayer that Daniel's praying to the Most High. Daniel was a righteous man. What did he say? We have sinned. He's a prophet. Daniel. We have sinned and have committed iniquity. Including himself. He's included himself with this. He's not accounting himself as one of the righteous. He said, we have sinned and have committed iniquity and